Hi, it's KP here. Before we get into the episode, I thought it'd be helpful to mention that this episode's a little bit different than the ones that we put out weekly. We do demos often, but this is very much like really going into a demo, and we're not really sure what's going to happen. So the majority of the episode is witnessing Chelsea, the licensed therapist of the two of us, walking me through or guiding me through finding or discovering my protector parts that are related to the inner critics. We are considering this part one. We don't know of how many, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 4. We don't know because it really is like an expedition. You really don't know what's going to happen next. So that's our disclaimer for this episode. I think it'd be most interesting for people who are like practitioners of IFS or practitioners of a more like parts work or experiential counseling type of thing, or astrologers who are really interested in seeing how parts work looks outside of astrology. For everyone else, we don't do very much discussion or I guess education of IFS or astrology, though Chelsea does give us a really good primer of inner critics in the IFS framework. Okay, so that's the disclaimer for this episode. Also, we are on all the places where you can listen to podcasts, but you can watch the video on Substack, as well as subscribe to the Substack, and you will receive periodically, once or twice a month, a special note where we're working through the core concepts of connecting astrology and IFS, internal family systems. So if you're interested in going deeper, I highly suggest subscribing there. So that's partsandcharts.substack.com where you'll find that. And we're also on YouTube where our videos are uploaded as well. And you can find us by parts_charts, the IFS and Astrology Podcast there. Okay, thank you for listening. And here we go.
You're listening to Parts and Charts. I'm Chelsea Owens, the therapist.
And I'm Kate Kashibowski, the astrologer.
Together, we're exploring a hypothesis that internal family systems and astrology work beautifully together.
Each episode, we test that out, and we're so glad you're here with us.
Hello. How are you?
I feel good.
Great.
I love chatting with you.
Likewise. We have such a fun hour before we record where we just shoot the shit, and I wish we could share that with all of our viewers, but that would be a 2-hour podcast someday.
Yeah. And lots of secrets.
Lots of secrets, juicy ones. Okay, today we are going to get into the world of inner critics, right? And how that is going to, it's going to illuminate a lot for KP's system. And we're probably going to try to attach that to some kind of chart info or astrology. Is that right? Are we doing that?
I think we'll see where we're going, but it might be something that we do in like part 2 or something.
Yeah, that might be like a round 2 kind of integration piece. Yeah. Because, we can't just do one episode on inner critics. They're too big. There's too many.
Mm-hmm.
We love them. Everybody loves them. Everybody has them. They're huge. I hear from them a lot. They're in therapy quite a bit. I know them well. Yeah. So we might make a multiple episode series about that. We're going to make a multi-episode series about this. Yes.
Yeah, but also like we're in experiment mode. We have no idea what's going to happen. And I'm the subject. So we'll see.
Yeah. Thanks for being the subject.
Oh, and also today's my birthday, right? We're releasing this on my birthday.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even start with happy birthday song. Yes,
I'm
happy
alive.
birthday, KP. She's alive.
Let's look at my inner critics.
I did, and just for everyone's knowledge, I did ask what KP wanted to do for her birthday episode, what she wanted to focus on, and this is what you chose.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I was like, my Capricorn rising could use a little love. Let's talk about that. Like, oh, is this inner critics? Probably. Yes.
Yeah, for real. Um, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I think that also being from the Midwest, there's some like I feel this too for my own system, like the Midwest nice parts or the Midwest hardworking parts, right?
Hmm.
Like just gotta buckle down and do it. I'm just gonna do the thing. I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna work hard. That
Yeah.
ethic, which I'm sure can be applied to a lot of other places, not just the Midwest. But are you familiar with that? I'm very familiar with that. Don't
Yeah.
complain,
Oh, yeah. I
work
mean, it's
hard,
like,
put your head down and do it.
it's the judgment of people who do complain, you know?
Yeah.
Like, someone in your childhood said, "Oh, that person's a complainer," you know? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's huge.
totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so real. Hmm. Yeah, there's like a lot of morality attached to it and nobility attached to being like
Yeah.
selfless or low maintenance in that way. Well, we'll see what's going on in your system with your Midwestern parts. We also have been using this book, Freedom from Your Inner Critic. I often prescribe it, suggest it to clients. It's a good read. It's by Jay Early, Bonnie Weiss. It's cool. They lay out a lot of um yeah, techniques, things you can really do on your own. He's got this like self therapy approach of like how you can work with your own parts on your own, get to know them and work with them. So he really does a good job of laying that out and providing structure to it, right? Things you can actually do at home, meditations and trying to get into self and trying to work with parts. So it's a good workbook for people who, are consumers of therapy or IFS, right? And you just read it. So you can attest to that as well. Like it was easy
Yeah.
to understand, easy to digest. It was helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I have a full understanding of IFS, but obviously don't have
Yeah.
the intricate understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it does a good job of like just laying the foundations and giving you some words. Yeah. And I like that he has these categories of different types of critics. Because we do use the word, inner critic quite, I don't know, what we maybe overused. We use it quite a bit, especially on the internet, which it feels like such a broad term, right? For all these different jobs that the critics are actually doing, right? So I like that he kind of breaks it down
Yeah.
into these different categories of like different jobs, different critics are doing. They of course all have different burdens, different belief systems, different things they're doing in the system, but they're all like under this critic umbrella. Yeah. So if you get the book, you'll notice there's like a little quiz. You can take a little inventory to see which ones are most prominent or loudest in your own system. So his 7 types of inner critics, I'll just read them really quickly. The perfectionist, the inner controller, the taskmaster, the underminer, the destroyer, the guilt tripper, and the molder. Sound familiar?
Yeah. I just did
To
the
all of
quick.
you?
Yeah.
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 Um, so you can kind
Personally,
of, yeah,
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Personally, it was great to do the quiz, just like the act of answering the questions and choosing numbers for each question.
Mm-hmm.
Then like at the end seeing the results, like, yeah, everything checks out. Like the
Yeah.
underminer was very low for me, which I like definitely
Really?
worked on a lot in my life, and the
Ah.
perfectionist and taskmaster were the highest, which absolutely tracks for sure.
Mm. Mhm. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just for everyone at home, yeah, the perfectionist, as you can probably imagine, wants you to do everything perfectly. Taskmaster, also self explanatory, tries to get you to work harder in order to be
Hmm.
successful, gives you all the tasks. Also, can motivate you by telling you you're lazy, you're stupid, or incompetent, and get into battles with other parts. Yeah, I'm sure we can all relate to that. Yeah, underminer, I feel like I've worked with that in my own system, definitely. It undermines your self confidence, self esteem
Yeah.
so you won't take risks, kind of, yeah, puts you down so that you don't kind of, yeah, fail, right? Guilt tripper, destroyer, molder. Yeah, I mean, those all show up for me, definitely. Inner controller, yeah, controls impulsive behavior. I see a lot of that with clients, but I feel like perfectionists, I probably see the most
Yeah.
just, with in my practice or um, with people out in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Hmm.
interesting that doing this podcast with you has been one of the most prevalent moments that I've noticed the undermining thoughts come up, and they don't take over, which is great. But it's cool to like exercise that and still like push through and create this and be
Mm,
pretty widely visible compared to my previous life. So that's something that's interesting. And also the
yeah.
perfectionists, we both talk about like we're publishing whether it's perfect or not.
Yeah.
We are not re-recording. And then there
Yeah.
was, I will say, on our second episode, I was like, oh, we have to re-record. I lied.
Yeah.
I like, I told me it wasn't true. And then I listened back. It's like, I said things that were true. I just didn't think I was smart enough for it,
Yeah.
or like all these things. Like,
Yeah.
so we're hitting publish. Like,
Hmm.
this is good. You know,
Yeah.
it was good
For
practice for that.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having any kind of platform or any kind of like putting yourself out in the public, publishing your work, putting your words out there in any way, I feel like brings up so many critics, so much of that
Yeah.
just like doubt or self-questioning, like, did I say that right? Am I even like qualified enough to say this stuff? Is everyone going to think it's stupid or just criticize me in any way? So then you kind of criticize
Yeah.
yourself first, put yourself down so you don't put yourself out there. And yeah, I think having anything out there, of course, it's like not a new concept, but it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it brings up a lot that can get in the way or block you from putting stuff out there. I only can imagine that like literally every podcaster, every like person who has published a book or whoever, writing, acting, whatever you're putting out there, like they all must go through this. They all must have this like cluster of critics, right? And maybe
Yeah.
they've worked with them or found ways to cope or found other parts to maybe mitigate some of the criticism or pain that's caused. But they all must be having this, right? Like,
Oh,
or do you
yeah.
just get to a certain point in your career of putting yourself out there that you just, I don't know, kind of trick yourself into not believing it anymore? Or like you block it all out? I mean, is that
Yeah.
possible? Like, I
That's
would love to
interesting
know
you,
from like
you say
high
that.
profile people.
Yeah, in the book, he talks about, or both of them talk about the champion and the mentor. And like when
Yeah.
they get stronger, when the critics are speaking, they can like help you work with the critics. So I
Yeah.
wonder if like every time you like publish an episode, like we do every week, or like every
Yeah.
time you write a poem, like you're building up the inner champion to like
Yeah.
give you confidence to push through or to.
Right.
I think I'm using words that's
Yeah.
too aggressive because IFS is all about getting to know the parts, right? And not
Yeah.
denying them their voice.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what we were talking about before we started recording is like, in the ideal world of, everything's working out perfectly in this IFS process is that as you're getting to know the parts and the critics and who the critics are protecting, the he calls them the protected child or the criticized child.
Yeah.
So these exiled parts that have started to believe all of these things about yourself, which is what the critics are so strongly trying to help the person not believe
Yeah.
or protect them from feeling, right? Or feeling that again. Once all of that's unburdened, easy peasy, I say it like it's so easy. Once the, critics can like kind of let go of the reins a little bit and let self take over. Once that is unburdened, once like the exiled parts are healed, unburdened, and they can start to bring in new qualities into themselves. Maybe they bring in like confidence or um I don't know, more clarity or they bring in maybe an attitude of like I'm going to take a risk. Like I'm going to make this painting and I'm going to think it's good no matter what or whatever the thing is that they want to do that feels like a new role, a beneficial role for the system
Yeah.
in a different way than what they're doing. Um, yeah, it's like the critics start to, they don't have to like knock down your door every day to criticize you and be like, you're a piece of shit. You need to do this and this and this because we're so terrified that X, Y, and Z is going to happen. They don't have to like work that hard anymore. Once some of those parts are unburdened, like listened to, healed, and cared for, and um, then they just don't have to work as hard. They're not so activated
Yeah.
all the time. But I also love this idea that he has of like bringing in like a mentor or champion part, having some other parts that kind of, yeah, I guess care for or help or like do this other role too. And I feel like that, if it's done like from a self-led place, right? Yeah, I feel like that could be really helpful. And just like maybe, however, I just imagine that also being somewhat externalized. Like if you have a mentor part or a champion part that you externalize in some way, like have something to carry with you, or you externalize it in a piece of art, um, or letter writing, whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
I think that could be really helpful too for clients. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which today, in our little experimental demo, we're going to get to some art at some point.
I'm ready. I have my
So
inks and my markers.
perfect. Yeah. Whatever you have. KP is lending us her system. And yeah, we're just going to get to know. Well, we have the intention of getting to know critics. We're
Yep.
just going to see whatever's here. Yeah. And if that happens, that happens. If it doesn't, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sound good?
Yeah. So just a heads up for the people who are listening or watching, there might be some pauses because, at least in my experience, when we go inside the system, I tend to see a lot of visuals, but then the words come next. So if you're like, oh, did the podcast pause or something? It's because you're hearing like in real time a live IFS session, which I think is really cool. I listened back to the other
Yeah.
ones, like it's really cool, but it's a kind of a
Yeah.
strange podcast format. But I
Yeah.
think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and our app will do it. It's the best it can to edit out some of those pauses, so it's not just radio silence for a couple
Yeah,
minutes. But typically, yeah, if we were in session or if I was in session with someone, there are a lot of pauses, and we go slow.
yeah.
So yeah, but I get that the listening experience doesn't have to be that slow. So we'll see how the editing goes, but it might be like I ask a question and then KP has a drawing done the next second. Like which just so you
Magic.
know, like probably didn't happen that fast. Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. You ready? I'll get my giggles out now and
Okay.
drop in to being facilitator here. So I want you to just kind of check inside. You can close your eyes. As we're kind of just dropping in here from being in podcast mode to just checking in with your system and just kind of letting your system know that, you can share whatever you want to share. You don't have to share every single thing that you're noticing, and for the sake of just guarding your own system, being in a public space. So you can always say as much or as little, or say there's something that you want to keep to yourself, that you can keep it to yourself. So just letting you know that. Just doing a quick body scan, just noticing what's here, doing a little check in the internal landscape, and just seeing if you can notice or just float this invitation to your system that we just want to get to know one of these parts that might be considered critical parts. And as you're doing that, just check if there's any parts you notice right now that have any concerns or any worries about us going to any critical parts.
I'm not sure if this is a part, but there's something saying like I feel like we're not going to be able to pay attention or
Mm.
like we're floating. Were
Yeah.
we able to focus?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's a part or critic or a
Yeah.
fear.
Hmm. How do you notice it? How do you experience it right now?
Well, there were a lot of really beautiful visuals that I don't have to get into. And then the part was like, wait, don't drift off. Don't
Mm.
don't go where there's beautiful imagery. It was like
Mhm.
stay focused.
Mm.
It's like, but it's so enjoyable.
Yeah, so there's some desire to kind of drift off to beautiful landscape land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and something you're noticing that's trying to keep you on task.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So just noticing, feel called to go in the direction, either way, either direction right now. What feels like it's calling you?
Mm, it's hard to respond to that because right now I see a pretty calm river, and then there's on either side like a path, and then there's a little bridge, kind of like in Monet's garden, although I don't really know what
Hmm.
that looks like. So it's like it feels like there's the function of the bridge is to like bring the two sides together, but it's also honoring that there's water flowing between it. So I'm not sure where that's going, but
Yeah. Are you on the bridge?
no, I'm witnessing it as if I were
Ah,
to fly like pretty far away.
okay. Yeah. So you're pretty far away, noticing this scene.
Hmm.
Yeah. How are you feeling towards it?
Maybe indifferent.
Mm.
There's not a lot of charge. It's pretty neutral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Neutral could go either way. Yeah. Just kind of there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just check how open your heart's feeling right now. Maybe there's a percentage.
I would say 30%.
Okay. Yeah. And just check how you're feeling towards that energy that wanted to keep you on task.
I feel a lot of feelings about that.
Yeah. What do you notice?
It feels a little bit like a surveillance operation. Oppressive was the word that came first, but I don't think it's oppressive. I think it's like just like a bummer. Like it sucks the fun out of the
Yeah.
room.
Okay. Yeah. So there's some energy here that doesn't like it. Yeah. It feels
Hmm.
like the task is oppressive, a bummer,
Yeah.
surveillance. Yeah. How do you notice that energy right now? Do you just feel that somewhere in your body? Do you see it? Do you just hear it? Does it feel auditory?
It's like a really fast moving like metal blimp, but
Hmm.
it's really close, so it's like covering the whole sky.
Oh, okay.
And like I'm
Yeah.
kind of seeing it through a crack, maybe of buildings or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like everything's stopped because it's here. Yeah,
Mm.
like the mood is very different from the bridge. So I think the bridge is something else.
Mm. Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
like up, and then the bridge was to the right.
So just making sure I'm getting this right. The blimp energy, is that the energy of the tasks, or is that the energy of the not liking the task?
It's the Yeah, it's either the task or the person who is like making sure we remember the tasks.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, where are you noticing this from?
Hmm.
Or who's noticing that?
It feels like it's me, the observer,
Hmm.
but it's also very personal. It feels very like a personal, like they're pointing at me.
Yeah. Is there any emotion there?
It's hard to know the emotion, but my knuckles and the top part of my chest, like clavicle area, is really tight right now,
Mm-hmm.
which might be like a defensive pose, like I'm like bracing or something. That it feels like I'm bracing.
Yeah. Defensive pose, bracing. Yeah. Clenching, tightness. Yeah. You're noticing in your clavicle.
My face feels like it's downturning, like it's maybe sadness, but I think it might be more like shame, or yeah, I think it's more shame than fear.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. How are you feeling towards that as you're noticing it right now?
The emotion,
Yeah.
yeah, it feels definitely like I'm assuming that emotion in real time.
Mm, assuming, like, feeling it?
Yeah, like it's here right now. But
Mhm.
it's interesting that I am getting 0 visuals about it, which is rare for me.
Got it. Yeah, got it, yeah. Does that feel okay to feel right now?
Yeah, getting it's shifting, but it's becoming more present, the
Mhm.
emotions.
I'm curious if that energy would even just give you a little bit of space. It can still be here. And I'm wondering if it would be okay if it would give you a little bit of space, maybe just step to the side or take a step back, just so that we can be with this task energy.
Mhm,
Knowing that we can come back to it and we can even come back to it offline, or you can come back to it alone. Just see if that would be okay.
mhm. They went to the bridge.
Yeah, does that feel okay?
Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah. And just see if you can thank them for that.
Mhm,
Yeah, we appreciate that space and understanding and just reassure it that you can come back to it.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So now just turn your attention to that blimp in the sky and just notice how you're feeling towards it.
It's not as intense, and it's less like there's, that doom feeling, in, stories when the army is approaching the fortress
Mhm.
or whatever, it's just, it's there, which is interesting
Yeah.
that it changed so much.
Ye- Yeah, it's not as intense. Shifted a little bit. And is it aware of you right now? Does it know you're there?
Uh, I think parts of it know I'm here. I don't know what that means, other than it feels kind of like there's components that are focused on something else, and then there's a
Yeah.
couple that are focused on me.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of busy, huh?
Yeah. Like,
So
it
busy,
has
busy
many
doing what it's
targets.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of half paying attention to you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Well, yeah. Just see if you can let it know that you're there. And if you need to introduce yourself, you can do that.
I'm getting this thought, do I say my own name or do I assume a persona?
Yeah. Say your own name. Let it know you're KP. Yeah. How did it respond to that?
It's a little indifferent to me, or kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. You're here. Yeah. Great. Yeah. And ask if it wants to share who it is.
It's interesting now I'm looking from the blimp down. I'm feeling a lot of pride in a very positive way. So I think they're introducing themselves, but it's like they feel very brave. Like the chest is very strong is like the sensation I'm feeling.
Mhm.
And they really
Yeah.
like themselves
Mhm.
even more than I like my own self. It feels like it's like, oh, interesting. This is
Yeah.
a little bit of a different experience.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're feeling pretty close to it. Like it's close to you, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah. Does it feel okay to kind of embody it right now? If it's okay?
I think so. Yeah.
'Cause you're really getting what it's feeling, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if you could invite this one to just give you more information about what it feels like to be this energy inside of you. I wonder if you could express that in some kind, just using your art materials in some kind of way. if you want to pick up some of your art materials and just let this one, just really embody this one and let this one come through.
Like express the essence.
Yeah, who it is, what it does, what it feels like to be this energy.
It's interesting. Now I have to be a conscious person. Okay, I can do this now.
I mean, you can be half conscious, you can be whatever.
Okay, here's something.
Okay. How did it feel to do that?
Interesting because it was a really physical experience near the end. And it felt very like static cloud, like the right before a thunderstorm, lightning storm. It was very much like there was a form like the blimp, but it was more like this very powerful cloud, which is
Mhm.
imagery that I do think about often as a poet. Like I think I write about clouds a lot, or just like storms or, air, weather energy. It's interesting. My sister also, I wouldn't say obsessed, but her imagery is often about storms. Yeah. So the energy was like lots of power, lots of electricity, but
Mm.
then also kind of like uncontrollable in that like you never really know where that static energy is going to go, or like where the ions, I don't know the words for this, but the ions are going to meet up. So there's kind of this element of like chance or like bracing oneself because we don't really know what's going to happen next. And it's beautiful. Like it's really beautiful. It was really beautiful to be in that energy, but it was dangerous.
Mm.
So charged. It's very charged, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do you want to say about your drawing?
Tried to capture the imagery as it was in my head. It was,
Yeah. You want to explain it?
yeah, it was like kind of looking down on the blimp, but the blimp was static electricity in the sky. So it
Mhm.
was this vapor and then the electricity, and then there were like cracks or crevices in really jagged shapes.
Mhm.
That's what
Yeah.
that is.
What part did you do first?
I only I only I only illustrated the blimp part. The drawing, you mean?
Yeah.
It was the crevices that I started with.
Mhm. So this
Um,
green area. Yeah. Yeah. What catches your eye first? What do you first notice about it?
the cloud shape,
Mm.
the like the vaporous,
Mhm.
unformed element.
Mm,
which is harder to illustrate. Vapor is harder to illustrate.
yeah. Is there an emotion attached to it? To this image? Or an affect?
It's like, you know, like when there's a tornado or there's about to be one, the sky gets green and it's weird and everyone wants to go outside and see it, but like you probably should be inside. Like, what's that
Mm,
feeling? What's that sensation?
mm,
It's like exciting and also like we shouldn't be doing this. We should go in the basement or whatever. Yeah,
mm,
it's pretty intense. It's memorable.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's what it feels like to be this part, huh?
yeah. That, yeah, I'm like in the part or I'm as the part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Does it want to say more about what it does for you?
I'll go in again. My conscious self is like, I think this might be the hypervigilance that we privately talked about earlier, like a few months ago. Because that consciously, that is like, that is kind of how hypervigilance feels.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Okay, but I'm going to go in.
Mhm. See if you could ask this part.
What am I asking?
Just seeing if it has any information about what it does in your system, what job it does, if it has one.
The word assessor or like assessing comes to mind. There's this like, this intelligence. Yeah. Like, it just feels very powerful. It feels very intelligent and very aware. It's very on, like it's always watching out.
Just, yeah, just check that out. Just run that by the part. Just ask, is it an assessor? Is that what it does?
Now I'm back in myself
Mm-hmm.
and looking at the vaporous blimp.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're saying, like, yeah, we're an assessor, but like we're really sophisticated. We're like really well constructed.
Mm.
And they're really
Yeah.
proud of it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Really proud of what they're doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they do some assessing and they're really kind of carefully constructed. Is that right? Or
Yeah.
constructing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like advanced technology. It's like, it's not alien technology, but it's like so much science and intelligence has gone into it.
Mm-hmm.
They're very proud of the team, I guess. Just, I think earlier when I was feeling the components, it's like they're working. Oh, I think this is IFS language. Oh, wow. They like work really well together, like a well oiled machine is kind of the language that's coming up. And they're
Mm-hmm.
very proud of it. They're like, they keep the sensation that I'm feeling is like they're just so, they feel like they've put in a lot of work and they've earned it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that make sense to you, what they're doing?
Logically, I'm not sure what they're assessing. Like, it's hard to tell, like, what they're
Yeah.
even doing. Um,
Yeah. Well, see
yeah,
if you can ask. Yeah. Ask for more info.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, this happened last time, I think, too. I'm staying inside of like the constellation of imagery, and now they're telling me like they're like looking over the land
Mm-hmm.
and the like the people and the buildings, or they're just making sure
Yeah.
everything's okay and in
Yeah.
order, that there's no fires in the field and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Totally.
And there isn't anything out of order, which is probably why at first I was like, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they're just kind of constantly checking.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
see if they if they know, I'm using they and just checking if that feels okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Um, just check if they know like how they actually do that for you. Do they just kind of have thoughts or like yell at you or alert you of things? What is it?
It's really wild. Right when you asked that question, my throat felt a lot of activity, and
Yeah.
I kind of saw images of them like talking to one person who would talk to another person who would talk to another person, kind of like relaying a message that's urgent. Um,
Yeah.
and they're working at this. They trust that everyone who's spreading the message is not going to break the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't feel like yelling. It doesn't feel like whispering. It's kind of just like communicating plainly and clearly across different people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. In your system. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But it's
Hmm.
kind of like they're constantly sending out missives or messages
Got it. Yeah. Hmm.
and then getting messages back is what I just saw.
Okay. Yeah. See if they have any fears of what might happen to you if they weren't doing this.
It's fire, like everything being on fire.
Mhm.
I guess I think that translates to destruction or chaos for me.
Mhm.
And it's like it's really specifically it's probably because of all the research I'm doing on the medieval period, but there's this like large castle with the infrastructure of like little side towns and buildings. So it's like
Mhm.
hundreds of years of building up this kingdom or something, and then
Mm.
all of that being destroyed overnight.
Oh, yeah. Mm. Yeah, and what's it worried would happen if everything was destroyed? What's it worried would happen to you?
The phrase "lonely island" came to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Lonely
It feels
Island.
pretty symbolic.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's worried about you being a lonely island, huh?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or like if all of the buildings and people were destroyed and it was just me left, then like what does it matter? What does anything matter?
Mm. Mhm.
But I'm like now my chest is kind of tightening, and I think I asked the blimp, like, it seems a little bit like you're larger than this kingdom, and when they're over us, it just feels a little bit like overkill because the shadow's like completely covering the whole kingdom. And I don't know. I think that I might be getting into judgmental territory when I was like, don't you think you're a little too big? Wow.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
notice maybe another part here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The like, this is a little overkill, like that kind of voice.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm. Just see if it would give you a little bit of space. Just, yeah, inviting it to take a step back. I really get that. Yeah. Thanks for chiming in.
It's like they feel more on my team than the Vapor Blimp, but they are taking a step aside.
Yeah. I it makes sense to me what they're trying to do. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I get that that feels like they're looking out for you, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And you don't have to totally believe it right now. I have a hunch that everyone's on the same team here, even though it may not seem like it
Hmm.
at first glance. Just seeing if you can turn your attention back to that blimp and just notice how you're feeling towards it right now.
It's so big. So big. Yeah. I mean, it feels kind of like it's just like a marvel, you know?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's doing a pretty big job, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. It's pretty important for you. How does it feel about doing its job for you? How does it feel about being who it is?
It's reminding me like we're really good at this. We're really sophisticated.
Mhm.
I think it said, or they said, or maybe someone else said, like, you can expand. You can make your kingdom bigger if you want.
Mm,
So maybe that's another part or component of the blimp team. But it
Yeah.
was like it was really encouraging, like, like you have the bandwidth, you can do it.
Mm,
Maybe because of them.
yeah. Is there anything that it's needing from you right now?
I really can't tell if this is another part, but they're like, we would love for you to focus on your muscles and building your core strength. I'm like, okay, is that an assignment? Is this how this works?
Yeah, just ask where that's coming from
Okay.
or who that's coming from.
I think it's part of the blimp, like one component, but not them as a whole. I feel like
Mhm.
there's four of them or five of them, and they work as a team, but then they also
Okay,
have
got
their
it.
own, voices.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's maybe it feels like kind of a cluster of parts, maybe. Is that right?
Well-oiled cluster for sure.
Yeah. Okay. A team.
Hmm.
So it wants you to use your muscles or be strong. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Or like sit up straight, but like they understand in order to sit up straight, you need to have a strong core. And like, so they're like, so focus on that because then it'll help you sit up straight. And then that can make you, da, 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 you can do more. Da, da. Like, it's like, do this first. And then everything else after that will be easier,
Yeah.
which might feel
Yeah.
corrective or might feel instructive, which feels like a part for sure.
Yeah. So it's letting you know what it wants for you, right?
Yeah.
Just just check if there's anything that it's needing from you right now that it's needing, be emotionally, or just needs you to understand or hear.
I think they want me to know, just acknowledge how sophisticated they are. Um,
Hmm.
Acknowledge that, like, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And like I think I'm very impressed. I just have no clue how they work because it looks like
Hmm.
science fiction to me.
Yeah.
But that feels good. Like I would like to get to know how you work, and I don't know if I'm capable of understanding everything, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Just thanking them for that and like letting them know that, yeah, that we can continue to get to know this team and what they're doing. Yeah. Just let them know that.
Yeah, that feeling of pride is really present, but it's not in my body right now. It's like I can just sense that they're feeling just very proud of themselves.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And just sending them some gratitude for being here, being a part of your system, and making the commitment to come back again and check in.
They like that.
Yeah. Nice.
They like to be called remarkable.
Mm. Is that their name?
Remarkable? Yeah. I think we can call them that right now.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Well, yeah, just sending Remarkable some appreciation for sharing with us, letting them know that you're going to come back. And I want you to pick up your art materials again. And I want you to just draw anything that wants to be expressed about you, either what you saw or what would just help you kind of have a deeper connection to what you experienced, this team, these parts, draw or paint or whatever feels good.
Okay.
Okay. You want to show it?
Yeah.
Right. Cool. You want to say anything about it?
This was the kingdom that the blimp was like protecting, and there were a bunch of like fields so you can't really see, but it was
Mm.
on a big hill, but then surrounding it were just like acres and acres and acres and acres of fields. And then the
Mm.
blimp is like 3 times the size of the kingdom. And you can't really see, but I like did etchings to like look like Star Wars kind of
Cool.
um plates that you'd put on like a ship. Yeah.
Nice.
And then on
Yeah.
the old image I wrote remarkable, so I remembered. There was
Nice.
also a moment where the blimp looked like a whale, so I drew that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
Remarkable.
Mm. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think it was, like, really clear when we asked the part to take a break or to that we would come back to them, and they went on the bridge, like, that was so emotionally charged that I do feel like that was the protected part or the exile, and then it was just it's so different when that feeling of exile when the feeling of exile energy is in the body versus, like, a protective part, right?
Mm.
The
Mm-hmm.
protective part is less emotionally charged, but like just as powerful
Yeah.
and in some ways more visual for me than exiled parts.
Yeah. Very interesting. Totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the first session where I'm like, oh, I think that the part actually trusted what I was saying. You know what I mean?
Mm. The part trusted you?
I think that this was like the first time where I didn't want to change anything at all.
Interesting.
And I think that's why the part was like, okay, we're like hanging out.
Okay, cool. Wow. So you just noticed more, I don't know, self energy, or the part felt more self energy from you. Is that right?
I think that's it. And the other times I remember doing sessions with you, I feel like it was harder for me to like step out and be my own self. And this time it was like it was part of the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Cool. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for playing. Thanks
Yeah.
for
Wow.
experimenting. Yeah, I hope it was helpful. And we'll probably pick up again in the next episode
Yeah.
where we're going to continue working with these parts and yeah, find out more.
Find out more. We'll see what happens next. Yeah. Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you. So fun.
Parts and
Okay,
chart.
bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us for Parts and Charts, the IFS and Astrology Podcast. If something sparked insight or resonated with you, we'd love to hear from you.
No, really, we're here to make friends. Reach out to us, leave a comment, subscribe. And if you feel called, share this episode with someone you care about. Or if you want to work with us one-on-one and go deeper with this work, check the link in the show notes for how to find us.
Until next time, may all parts of you feel like family.